Welcome back to Peaking into Success podcast. We've now hit our first milestone of 10 episodes, and I'm really happy to see the love for the channel. And I'm really pleased that for this little milestone, we've got a 3-piece band that got created just over a year ago now, called the Capes from Derbyshire, that are literally tearing up the Derby scene and playing at literally every festival you're going to probably this year in and around England. So please enjoy the episode. Hi guys, so I'm with the Capes. Do you want to introduce yourselves, who you are and what you play firstly?
I'm Liam and I am the drummer.
Dan, guitar, vocals.
I'm Jordy, I'm the bassist and backing vocals in Capes.
Nice. So how did the forming of the band happen first of all?
Me and Liam started rehearsing pre-COVID with, I had some songs written that I wrote. I lived in London. I had some songs that I wrote there and then came back and we started rehearsing them for about 5-6 months, and then we got locked down, which I personally missed a little bit because it was nice to see so many other people kind of from back in the day playing guitar around the kitchen table and singing songs on Facebook, which I personally really enjoyed that. And then later on down the line, when we were allowed to mingle again and rehearse, we were looking for a bass player, so Geordie joined us and we had our first gig just over a year ago. It was a year on Sunday, just gone.
Nice. So were you all parts of like different bands as you were growing up, or kind of just the first band that you were in?
Well, we've known each other for the best part of nearly probably 16, 17 years, so we've known each other throughout our entire sort of adult lives. Me and Liam were in a band when we were in our young teens, and we met Dan, who was in a band at the time that was something we really enjoyed because they were a bit older. They were the more, even though it was a matter of 2 years or something, they were the more established band. So we used to watch them and gig with them quite often. So we developed this sort of friendship, and then we all grew up. We all had children. We got jobs. That life got in the way of the college craziness, and it's been pleasant because even though there was a large gap of not really communicating with each other because life got in the way, when we got back in that first rehearsal room, it was like we'd never been apart because it was still the same, absolutely ripping the hell out of each other, but still pushing each other to do the best we can do as well. So in terms of the conception of the band, it was meant to be because we'd just known each other for so long that I don't think anybody else could have really fit the mould.
No, that's nice, and it's like kind of full circle for you all, and kind of shows that even though time's been apart, you can still come back together, form them friendships, and hopefully kind of bring the message of, even if you keep out, like in touch or out of touch with anyone, you can still kind of make something together if it's meant to be. What would you say, if you could liken yourself to one band, what would you say if people don't know your sound and people kind of wanted to know what you sounded like, and if you sounded like someone, they may give you a listen? Who would you say?
It's really quite difficult to say one band, isn't it? Because we've tried to sort of veer away from sounding like one band or having many inspirations, but I think if we put it down to one, I would possibly go for early Stereophonics, perhaps.
That's interesting because, of course, on your Spotify you put Oasis, Stereophonics and Arctic Monkeys, so I was interested to see if you'd say one of them, or if you think over time, since writing that, it's changed.
There's different influences for all three of us. And I think that's what kind of, you put the different ingredients in the cauldron, and we've made what we've made out of it, and outcome capes, didn't it? And we still keep our separate influences quite heavy when it comes to writing the songs that we write. So that's why I think we find it difficult to narrow it down to just one.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I know I kind of gave you a hard question there. So of course, you've mentioned about writing. Is it joint, all three of you, or does someone take the lead?
We write more collaboratively now. The first set of songs that we performed and released were songs that I'd written. There's a couple of songs that I wrote a long time ago that I knew would really fit a three-piece band, and then there's some that I wrote over lockdown and that I bought pretty much a complete song in and went, right, I've got this song, and we're sort of fully written, and we'd go through that. And then the last sort of set of gigs that we did before the new record, we'd kind of gone, we've got these bits and bobs of ideas. There's a song called Love Ain't a Loaded Gun, which I had the chorus for it and nothing else at all. And we started writing the verses and we couldn't get the link from verse to chorus in. And what do? 5 weeks of rehearsals? It's like 5 weeks ago. Just can't get us to work, and when do we shelve it? Do we keep it? Where do we go with it? And just out of nowhere, this little kind of link riff came in, and it really works. It's completely different to anything that I've written or we've written before in terms of the structure, because it starts off quite quiet, and then it sort of builds and builds and builds. And then everything we've done, the last record, the record that we're just about to release, all that's collaborative writing. And even new ideas, I'll have like a little idea that I'll have on the guitar and I'll send it in a voice note, or Liam will have a drum beat, or Jordan might have an acoustic guitar part or a bass line, and then we'll kind of pick that up from there, bring it to rehearsal and see where it goes. But I found that the trick now as I get older is to record everything.
That's
and then we can go backwards and go, oh yeah, remember that song that we did? What does it sound like? What's it called? And we can find it out of a WhatsApp message or a voice note or whatever.
No, that's good. Like, kind of making sure you don't lose any of your like inspirational kind of thoughts that you have. Do you, because of course you're all collaborative on your writing, do you all have a particular song, whether it's been released or not released, that you like? Because of course you're three different people at the end of the day, so you're all going to have different connections to different songs.
Yeah, there are a couple of songs that for me are quite sort of drum orientated, aren't they? And I enjoy playing a gig or something like that when I know that song's coming on next. But as far as some of the new stuff that we've written, because we've all done it collaboratively, there's one particular one on there where it's quite stripped back and simple on the drums, but I think it's everything else that brings it to life. It's just it's just joyful. It's just really joyful to play. So yeah.
What's that one?
That's Slow Down, that one.
Slow Down.
That's my favourite.
Slow Down. It's just it's my favourite song to, obviously with the demos and stuff, listen to, and my favourite song to play at the moment. Every aspect of that song. I just love it all.
I'll pick something out of every song.
Okay.
That I really like. There's a song called Mad Woman that Geordie's backing vocal, I think, makes the song. The kind of end section of that song makes the song, because it's just so big. It's really anthemic. Stereophonics are quite a big influence of mine, kind of growing up and getting into guitar. And Kelly Jones does big choruses, so that's very much kind of that ilk. So might be something really like different out of each song. For me at the moment, I think my favourite one to play live is probably Love Ain't a Loaded Gun, I think, because it's the most complex song for me to play, because there's a lot going on vocally and on guitar as well, so it's a challenge, which is good.
Fair enough.
Definitely slowed down for me. And it's because of the way we actually conceptualised it. It started off with Dan playing 2 chords. And it just came out of nowhere. The whole thing was done in a rehearsal. Like, it was so strange because the previous experience with like Loaded Gun was 5 weeks of umming and ahhing and not knowing where we were going. Yet then we sat in the rehearsal room and we'd written an entire song and everything within a couple of minutes. And it was fantastic, and it's quite bass driven. I get to play something a bit more complex, and also there's some killer harmonies on it. Like, they're difficult to do, but they're fun, and it makes the whole song huge, in my opinion. And Liam does some like really interesting, like, if you listen to it without being a musician, you probably won't even catch it just as well. But there's like a little hi-hat sort of trill he does, and if you're a musician and you hear that, it's just really ear-catching. It catches you completely. Because it goes alongside what the bass is doing. And they really marry up together. So it's just super fun to live because we can just riff off each other.
No, what that's shown from all three of you, and you speaking about the songs which you like the most, is that, like, to me, it sounds like you enjoy performing more than kind of, if your music was like on and someone listened to it, I feel like you come alive more when you perform and you bring more to the table. Would you say you're more performers or more like to the recording side?
I prefer gigging loads more, because it's nice to get, like, for me, to get those songs out, and even the older stuff. It's nice. Like, we've only been a band for a year, and in comparison to other bands, we've not done a big UK tour, we've not played big festivals yet, but we'll be doing this year. So it's even the small following that we've got, that you can see them, you see the whites of their eyes, you can see them singing the songs back, and to me that's really special. Every song's got a story. I never say what they're about, I let people draw their own judgment. Some of them are quite self-explanatory, of course, but again, it's really nice to kind of get that back.
Yeah.
So for me, performing, and even whether it's an old song or a new song, or even if it's where we'll drop the odd cover in, if we've got something special that, a gig that we're doing that will involve or will be invited to do a cover or something like that. Again, it's nice to even play them now in like a later life. I used to hate covers when I was younger, and I never got the point of being an originals band. And in covers, I was like, it's a bit sort of, you're selling your soul kind of thing. But I see a different appreciation for it now, and I think COVID's got a lot to answer for. But I think in a positive sense, that it allowed everyone that time to sort of sit back and reevaluate things. And for me, again, it was a really special time. But performing, I love to perform.
Wicked. So I know you've mentioned it kind of on and off throughout talking so far, but with the new music, kind of when are people expected to hear that? Do you perform them now, but they're just not released? Kind of, what do you do with new songs?
Yeah, so with the run-up of gigs that we've had, the back end of last year, beginning of this year, and throughout the summer, we've been performing, sort of drip feeding these new songs that we've got, but we just haven't released them yet, have we? It's like it's almost like going to watch a play and not being able to buy the DVD.
There'll be a single mid-July.
Okay.
And there'll be an EP before we play Why Not. I think the weekend before that'll go out.
Nice.
So the end of July, roughly.
Perfect.
And a few other bits of merch and stuff in the meantime. Release week, we've got some interesting stuff planned for release week, which we've recorded and done most of it already. So release week's going to be quite a big week for us. With in the social media world, it'll be quite big for us anyway.
Nice.
Stuff to come.
And then are you doing a release gig? Can anyone find you for that,
I
or?
don't think we've got time.
It's got insane.
Probably later in the year, I think we'll do a release
We
gig.
started off this year saying, right, our goal is to do 1 gig a month, and in 1 month we've got something like 6 shows. It's got insane. It's so cool because we didn't do this to go out and get fame. We didn't do this because we wanted to be massively gigging everywhere. It was something that's a hobbyist thing and it's fun. But then people started asking us more. Like on the way here, we've been asked to do another gig. We've got here and there's opportunities that are just presenting themselves where we're not searching for them anymore. And it's an incredibly proudful thing, if that's a word. Prideful, is it? It's cool because we weren't trying to do loads of gigs and we found ourselves gigging. So we had a full plan for an EP party. We were going to do all of that, and then gigs just fell right about the time that we needed to do it. So it's going to have to be later in the year, but we'll make it a bit special.
There's 8 festivals in 2 months.
How do you fit it in with kind of? I assume you all work as well. So how do you fit in between the 3 of you and working? How does that kind of work?
Well, fortunately for me, I work in education, so I have weekends and many half terms, and the fact that festival season lands in the summer during my 6 weeks holiday means that I have 6 or 7 weeks to play 2 festivals in one day, not worry about timings and stuff like that. But yeah, I felt really lucky with my work and the time that I finish in it during the day, and the fact that I lounge about for something like 14 weeks of the year.
How about the other 2 of you? How do you find it?
I think I'm going to have to expose us. We've got a spreadsheet because we have to get super organised. Yeah. Because our lives are that busy that we've had to make it. So we've got a very clear thing where we've got calendars that are aligned. We've had to go the whole hog because we're not in our teens and we're not in our early 20s anymore. We've got commitments and families and work, and we just have to, with great difficulty, but with a lot of communication, just find when we're free, find the time we've got free, and find ways to make the time free. So that's the honest answer to the question. We're very careful about how we do things.
No, but that's good, isn't it? Because then at least you can kind of fit everything in. As you said, you're fitting in 8 festivals in 2 months, and
plus normal gigs as well.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
My week is disgusting but structured. So I have like running club on a Monday, rehearsal Tuesday, Zoom call with the boys on a Wednesday, plus kids swimming, 2 kids swimming, seekers, and then like running myself, gym,
Very busy.
gigs and other stuff.
Very busy
So
schedule.
I said to Geordie, I said, you need to have a spreadsheet, good spreadsheet, and just go, we've got this gig here, we need to be there that time, how much we're getting paid, what we've got to take, what time we're on stage. And we didn't, it kind of works, but the thing I think now with being in a band, that I'm a bit older than these, so I'm just past the wrong side of 35, and there's more opportunities now than I think there ever has been, and I mean that very sincerely in the sense that we've lost a lot of venues, we've lost some good venues, some real high quality venues. We lost some of them pre-COVID, and before COVID we lost my favourite venue. I mean, I lived out of Derby for 8.5, nearly 9 years, but I used to love the Vaults, and when I moved back I looked at opening the Vaults up with a friend of mine in the city and tried to open it up, and the people that own it not interested. But we've lost a lot of venues, so the opportunities dimmed, and then people went, God, we miss live music. So there's now pubs that are doing live music, there's cafes that we've spoken about, Mr. Shaw earlier on, and there's bands, there's publicans, there's venue owners, there's people that are in events that miss live music and want live music back and want original music, which is really good. There's some really niche places in and around Derby. I live on the outskirts of Derby, and it's the same out there. There's some, like yourselves with podcasts, with radio shows, with TV, there's some amazing opportunities out there. And the calibre of band in Derby at the moment, just Derby on its own, it's amazing. I think the calibre of bands in the city now is probably the best it's been in the last 20 years, I'd say. And even the young, we're a bit old at really. All this is like, we're very privileged to be able to do this at our age with what we do, because the whippersnappers that are coming up are amazing. Some of the young bands are just absolutely phenomenal nowadays, and they're doing stuff as unsigned bands, no label, no management. You know, you've got most of the bands from Derby going to Why Not Festival this weekend. You've got 3 or 4 that are all on the way to Isle of Wight as well, you know, now. And we're very privileged to be in that position where we are, and, you know, like Joy said earlier, the gates are open for gigs and that to come in, and by one, of course, we want to be out there and performing, but the calendar's full really quick, and they're good quality, high profile gigs. You know, we're not. For me, I'd play in here. There's a plug socket there. That'll do. That's all I need. As long as I know what time I've got to be here. You know, but the opportunities now are just amazing.
But that's good, isn't it? Because then I feel like you being a bit older than some of the up and comers, your experience, you know what the scene was like. You can kind of drive people back, and I feel like, especially my kind of age, being like mid-20s, people want to go to someone that knows what they're doing, can perform and give you a good night. You don't want to go and be disheartened and be like, oh, I didn't kind of get that value for money. Like, I enjoy like people that can perform and give me a good time, not kind of. That's why I asked you, but is I love watching someone in the flesh perform a song rather than have it in my earphones. I feel like I can connect more with the song, I can kind of feel it more. So that's why I asked you, and I think your answer was brilliant about like the Derby scene and creatives on like shone a massive light on in the past. I don't think before COVID people didn't shine a light on Derby as kind of a creative place, whereas now, as you've said, loads of people are going to Isle of Wight, loads of people are going to Why Not, and it's kind of Derbyshire festivals and places around Derbyshire are giving Derby a chance to be creative and kind of put themselves on a platform. So
I don't think it's necessarily that. I think the bands are making themselves heard.
Oh, okay.
Because there's opportunities coming, but these bands are going out there and they're gigging relentlessly.
But they are and they're not. I think they're good calibre of band, but like I say, there's a real shining light in Derby now.
Yeah.
And the bigger cities. Manchester, great bands, but they're going through some turmoil up there because the venues are just bang, 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 bang. All the venues are closing so quick.
The Leadmill's going in Sheffield as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Depends who you speak to. I think it's been sold.
Ooh.
But like for Derby's got venues opening. This is a city that I know of that's got venues opening. But yeah, the opportunities are great. It's great city, you know. And I won't say too much, but I know of some bands who will remain nameless that are doing well now and are going to absolutely rock it this year.
Oh, yeah.
Just by a bit of inside information.
No, wicked. So this can be individually or collectively. I don't know if you'll agree or disagree, but what do you all think is the band's career high so far?
This band's career high?
Yes.
That's a really tough one, because a lot of the highs we have is just the fact that we've been able to get ourselves to a position where we can do it despite all of the hurdles that we have with being slightly older and having a lot more responsibility. But I would say my biggest high was playing the other end of Christmas, playing a show, and you know it was a good gig. There was a massive crowd. We were supporting the Public Eye at the Vic Inn, and from that we literally got a tap on our shoulders and got told, "See it, why not?" And there was no expectation. There was no expectation that anything would happen. We hadn't precursored asked questions. We hadn't spoken to anyone beforehand. We literally rocked up, played a gig, and got told we would like you there. So for the idea that somebody would like us to play on the stage, I'd say that's pretty intensely good for me.
Would you all agree, or do you all have specific moments?
I would probably agree with that, but I think mainly for us is that we sort of go into everything with good expectations of ourselves. You know, for gigs and stuff, we know that we want to perform well, regardless of any capacity, or if there's 1,000 or 10 people there, we still want to perform really well. But we sort of go in with the fact that, you know, we're going to do this gig and we're going to release this song, and it's for good times, it's for getting us back to where we want to be. So it's really nice to have, like when Geordie said that we all got told that we were going to be playing Why Not on the night of the gig at the Vic. It was unexpected, you know. So it's a surreal feeling when you sort of walk into a place and you expect to just walk out, and then all of a sudden somebody is holding up 3 or 4 more doors for you. And it's that, I think that for us is the fact that the summer has expanded so much, and I know that we're going to be really busy, but it's busy for the best reason. So I think it's just that, walking in and trying to be as cool and calm, as collected as we are, and then being told that we're doing something massive, or we play 1 gig and we get asked to play 3 or 4 more gigs on the back of that. We don't walk in expecting to do that.
Nice.
When it's given to us, when the opportunities arise, we bite people's hands off, don't we?
That's happened on a couple of different occasions. On a few of the shows we got coming up, we were, you know, sort of like when we were at the start, and we sort of like messaging places about gigs and stuff, and they were like, a show or something. So we shot a brilliant music video with somebody called Andy Tatt, absolutely phenomenal videographer and photographer. And then off the back of that, and a little bit of a press pack where we'd had photos taken and stuff, we were finding that venues were not only saying, yeah, come and play, it's, oh, can you also play this date and this date and this date? And it was surreal, because all they had at that point was just our music and just what they'd heard. So just what we put out in our very early part, people want us to do more. I can't wait to see what's going to happen when we release this EP and there's more footage of us performing after we've played a lot more and we're a lot more established. So I can't even imagine what next year's going to be like.
Yeah.
Would you all agree, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
My highlight, and you'll find this really weird, but when we played the Sunday night, so notice there's a pub in Ripley called the Holly Bush, and we were sort of touting to get on music festivals locally. Oh, we'd like to play festival. We play festival, mister. And they were like, well, we need to see you play. Oh, we've got this video on YouTube and that. And then there's the guy that runs Ripley Music, because Ripley Music Festival is an all-week festival, goes over 2 weekends and a full week.
Okay.
And it's massive, but it's not like really well known, but it's really good, really well put together, and it's really hard to get on. It's not like people are like 2-3 years in advance, and there's a bit of a route to it. So we like poles up at this pub in Ripley, and I had no judgment, no expectation whatsoever. Tiny PA in this like back room at a pub, Sunday night, and I was like, God, I know this is going to go down here, lads. I'm a bit like nervous about this. And the guy went, yeah, you've got 3 songs, 15 minutes, like X Factor on steroids. And we went, well, we better get his arse up there and play his little art out. And we did, and he went, effing hell, Jesus Christ, you're in, sound, what time do you want, and all that lot. And that for me was really special, because again, it could have been nothing. It could have been we're like, yeah, thanks lads, but you know, see you later kind of thing. And again, I think the kind of the domino effect of that's meant a lot more. And we've done that a few times in order to get gigs and stuff. And it's not about blowing people off stage and all that lot. That was when I was 19, 20. It's more for, you know, again, keeping that standard really high, and the bands that the new bands and the current and the old bands as well that are coming through. But I don't think the real highlight to come yet.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
You're still early in your progress, aren't you? So
Yeah, there's some stuff I'm really looking forward to this year, which, I can't wait to kind of get to that point where we're ready for.
I also liked the another little highlight was when we played the Shiny Tap and we got that message.
Yeah.
There was a family there that weren't expecting there to be a gig on. A couple with 2 young lads, and the youngest lad was covering his ears, so I went and gave him my in-ear monitors to just sort of a bit of hearing protection, and that night we got a message and we saying thank you and stuff, and it was she put thank you for being my lad's first gig, and I think just that message alone just sort of about sums up what we really want to do, to be someone's first gig and stuff. It's just a really nice feeling. So
100%.
another little highlight for me, I think.
To be fair, me wanting to be a musician, I kid you not, was at Belcombe Music Festival at about 10 to 11 years old, watching a band called Neverland. And I remember going, it's the first proper live music I'd seen, I remember going there and just watching them play, doing guitar solos and stuff, and I was just like, I want a bit of that. And who knows, that little lad could grow up and want to do a bit of something himself because he got inspired. It's brilliant, to be fair.
Fair play. So of course we've looked at the highs. It could be the same, it could be different. Is there a defining moment in your career so far in this year that you've had that you think, yeah, this has changed the course? Or say, for example, at the Vic when you were there and he kind of came up and said, yeah, you're playing Why Not? Is there anything like that sticks in your mind?
I think it's been very organic, really. I think that because we're that bit older and we've got children and work and kids swimming, football, running club and all that lot, it was never really a kind of expectation of, we're going to be doing this and what have you. It was more like 3 lifelong friends enjoying the opportunity to be able to go and play music. Because we're that bit older, we knew a few people locally and thought, that Dan Parkin's in a band again, or Liam's in a band again, or Geordie's in a band again, and it kind of pricks ears up from, I'm a bit old at, but because I've been in bands and stuff before, my CV's not too bad from local bands really, with sort of stuff that played and performed and radio play and bits and bobs like that from years past. But I think it's been so organic that it's built itself along. And as Geordie said earlier, we've done 3 singles and 1 music video in a year, and it's got us to Why Not Festival, Tramlines, Fringe, Big Shakeout Festival. We can announce that now because they've confirmed that we can announce it, which is going to be amazing up at Great Ormston. And it's like that we sort of, we'll probably get a little tent there, and on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock when there's no one there, people trying to get through the gate, and they've gone, no, 8 o'clock, Saturday, golden hour, Saturday night, main stage, and I've gone, wow, we'll have some of that. So it's like grown really organically through that, and there's people banging on the door for us to play and to come and see us, and the opportunities are endless. But it's grown itself, and I think it will continue to grow, and I'm excited to sort of see where it takes us really. There's so many defining moments, and big things for me has been finishing. A massive thing for me has been finishing this record and getting that done, because there was a point where everyone gets to that point where when you've had these songs for a few months, you don't get bored of playing them, because it's the wrong sort of phrase to use, but they become part of daily life, and you're looking for something that's exciting. And when I was 18, 19, I'd put loads of pressure on myself to I wanted a song like this, and a song like that, and a song like the other, and be doing, I wanted to be doing Jaws Holland by the time I was 19 and a half. And it don't happen, does it? Because we live in the real world. But there's been so much this year, and I'm really grateful, to these guys for sharing the stage with me and for giving me the opportunity to go out and perform again, and for the publicans and the venue owners and the promoters and you know, the people that really care about music, and the other people in the bands that are doing it for the same reason. And there's no ego, there's no judgment, there's no BS with us. It's, you get what's in front of you. You know what I mean?
Which I think is better, because then people are seeing what they see like face value. It's what you give him. Like with this, I feel like you're being quite open and transparent and being like, yeah, this is how it's happened. We've been in other bands, we've kind of done this and that, and kind of this formation of the three of you, you didn't know if it would work, and it has worked, so you're just enjoying the ride while you can, which is nice to see. Is some people are like trying to be like, as you said when you were younger, with Jules Holland trying to push, where I feel like yours is very natural, and as you said, people are coming to you, you're not going to them now, which is nice. That shows you have grown and you are getting bigger and bigger, but you're not having to put the manpower behind promotion and stuff like that as much now, because it's kind of, you've kind of built your stage and you can kind of live with that, which is good. And that's what younger people should kind of take more of, and not kind of be like stuck to the phone being like, oh, I need to post this, I need to post that. I feel like especially on your social media, it's kind of as and when there's something to say, you will say it, not kind of, oh, I need to do a post today, I need to do this, I need to do that. It's very as and when you need to do it, I feel, and everything has a purpose, which is nice, and younger people should take knowledge of what you're doing. I think it's a good setup that you've got.
I'll be honest with you, Dan has been very champion in making sure everything's conducted quite well within us as a band, because I love to do a bit of posting. I love to do a bit of that. But we had a very important discussion way back when about the band. Is we stand by very certain covenants. We have to be humble, we have to be grateful, and we have to be respectful. That's the main thing. I think that's something we got as an adult, and that's all come from what we've learned in past experiences, because everybody wants to be Liam Gallagher and tell everyone that they're arseholes, and you know, everybody wants to be that bit of rock and roll. But I think until you're a rock star, you need to be humble, you need to be respectful, you do need to look after people, and you don't need to post what you ate for your dinner last night on your social media. People just need to know when you're gigging, when your music's out, and how to buy a shirt. That's all the social media needs to be useful.
There's some stuff that we've done that I think's been receivable, like Parkins Parker, which was through last summer. No matter how warm it was, I was wearing Parker on stage the whole time, and we kind of did it as a bit tongue in cheek, because it was renowned that there's a guy called Bob that runs Nailed It, Belper Music Festival, and the Nailed It group, and they do a lot of gigs in Belper. Again, you know, Bob's been there, done it, got the T-shirt. He's in his 50s, his late 50s, early 60s. I hope he's not young, because he can tell me off. But he's been there, done it, and he's gone, oh, you're not wearing your bright Parker today. I go, oh, don't worry, Bob, it's in my bag. You know, and it become a bit tongue-in-cheek. But I think, you know, with social media, again, you can use it to your advantage, but there becomes a point where, are you doing social media, or is social media doing you? And I think a lot of some people post some really cringy stuff on there that's irrelevant to what they're doing, whereas, you know, we use it as a tool to get our message out there, and you know, to kind of do what we need to do. Yes, we've got some stuff like release week will be quite interesting. We've got some good stuff on that on there, which is a bit more, again, it's more open to who we are as people, rather than being three guys that are on stage, play a gig, disappear off backstage, and you don't see them again. We want to be open with it and want to be transparent on what we do, and you know, be vocal about our experiences, past experiences, and journeys as well. I was in bands when I was younger. I was in a band when I lived in London for a little bit, and I was in a band down there, and we had a very, very catchy song, very, very catchy, that got picked up by KEXP in America. Okay. And we were getting primetime radio playing, and I was like a dog with two. You know what? It didn't mean nothing. We weren't about to jump over to America on a plane and go and tour America. It was never going to happen. But at that time, at that age, my ego it got the better of me. Which I look back now and sort of go, you know, you're a bit of a tool then. So a lot more humble about it now, and a lot more thankful and grateful for the opportunity of being mid-30s for me and early 30s for these guys, to have the opportunity to be able to go back on stage and be performing and playing again.
Nice. I know you've mentioned it early kind of throughout us talking now, but what are the plans for the summer? So you mentioned Why Not, you mentioned tram lines. Where are people going to be finding you in the summer?
All over.
Here, there and everywhere.
8 festivals in 6-7 weeks, I think it is. Keep on socials for the posts for summer festivals, and then we've got some support gigs, and then after that we'll be doing some headline gigs of our own. So we're looking for bands at the moment to take with us and do a couple of gigs locally.
In town, out of town.
Yeah.
Up
Like
and down.
to stretch out a little bit, and then we go up to Manchester, Leeds, Sheffield.
Starting to open our legs up a bit more now, aren't we?
Yeah.
And get a bit of a stride on.
Yeah.
Wicked.
And again, you know, pick these, you know, these cool kids up and take them with us, or some of the old boys, and get out and go and enjoy playing and doing what we're doing. We're like, cause even in summer though, we're like Sheffield. We've got Sheffield for tram lines, and we're further afield and stuff like that then. But I think it's kind of let the journey take us.
No.
We're not going to do the young band thing and do a couple of gigs sort of around the Midlands and call it a tour, because we're not trying to tour. The tour's going to be next year. We're going to do something proper. We're going to book it in properly, and we're going to, you know, be spending nights in hotels and not going home for us tea. So we are trying to really do things as properly as we can and as professionally as we can. So we've got a load of gigs coming up, but it's not a tour at all. We will be doing a tour, just not yet.
You're not staying over at Why Not?
Probably not, no.
Stay in Spiders.
No, I've just got a comfy bed an hour away.
No, but I think the view is, you know, to keep on the socials for what we're doing so far up to summer, and then I'm sort of looking at November time, get festivals out of the way, enjoy a bit of downtime in October, and then November, sort of pre-Christmas, you know, 5 or 6 local gigs, and do a bit of a mini tour, but keep it local enough we'll be at home.
Nice.
Back in a comfy bed every night.
Wicked. So can people find links to, say, your tickets? Do you, when you're supporting, do you put the links on your socials for tickets as well? Yeah.
Yeah, we every post that we do that announces any gig, we tend to start putting QR codes onto these little flyers and stuff now, so
Okay, nice.
people can just, you know how the modern world scan and scan by.
Wicked.
That's pretty much it. Try and make it as easy as it is to get a couple of tickets and whatnot, but as much information as possible for the people that are interested in going and stuff like that.
Nice, wicked. It just makes it easier, and then people can find you
definitely.
easily. So kind of getting more deeper now. Is there anything that you do differently if you rewind back to 2022 last year, and you're kind of all together in a room to now? Is there anything you'd change on your journey? Anything that you think, oh, we could have done this and it could have been perceived differently?
I don't think so. Not for me. I think everything that we've kind of done is we've sort of been skimming across the water, haven't we, and not wanting to sink, and I think we've just been. For me, it's about the journey. It's not about the destination.
Nice.
And I think we've just been enjoying this journey.
We've done all we can to make sure everything that we do is done for the right reasons in the right mind. So I don't think there's anything that has happened where we've gone, oh crikey, we should have done that differently. And I think that life's a learning journey. You need to learn from every single thing. Like, you know, how you record, whether you record as a band, whether you record differently. Just so many facets of things that you need to learn and develop, which is your way, because some people might be fantastic at just doing everything individually, whereas we found in ourselves, when we play together as a band, we make a very good result, and maybe that's because there's more of an energy because we're all performing at the same time rather than just playing to a click track. You know, even those sort of things, you learn from it. So there's not one thing, I've got to say, I think that I'd like to change about what we've done.
But that's good. That shows that you've got a good model and you've set up and kind of built in the right way.
We're still working it out as well.
Yeah.
That's not, we talk about as age and our experiences and stuff, but again, we've been a band for just over a year now, and even though we've all been mates and known each other for a long time, we have only been in a band for over a year together. So we're still working stuff out, and we will always be working stuff out. I think I don't think there'll ever be a point where we're going to sit back and go, we know how to do everything.
No.
Because we like to chop and change, and we like to try different things.
Just change the set list around.
We have just changed the set list around. So it's now, even though we know the songs and we play the songs, there's little things in there that people will see when they come to these gigs and stuff in the summer that we've added and stripped back, and the wheels are constantly moving, and you know, we ain't got the sat nav on, have we? We're just going. Yeah.
You know, for this record, we've changed the theme of it. The artwork's changed. The songs are different to what we released first time round. There is the vibe of the songs is totally different as well.
Nice.
I think the collaborative writing part of it's helped for sure. Vocally, it's a lot stronger. I think this record, lyrically, it's a lot stronger. I think so. It's about growth, ain't it, all the time? You know what I mean? So it's about growth all the way through, which is the big thing. But like Liam says, there's no sort of end destination. It's continuing on that journey all the way through, and not wanting to change anything. We've been really lucky. This is the thing, we've been really, really lucky in what we've been offered so far and what we've done and where music's taken us, and it can be a very fruitful journey if you keep it close to heart, you know.
Nice. So of course you've kind of decided you wouldn't do anything differently. Is there any advice that you'd give yourself, so maybe 19, 20, you kind of people that you can put yourselves in the...
No, we can say in public forum.
I would tell myself to go and see the world more, get out there more, because before we went into lockdown, well, during when we went into lockdown, it was, for everybody, the world had just stopped, and I think that's the beauty of us being out of it now, and the fact that everyone, like we mentioned, everyone wants to go to places more now and see more things, and I know that there are quite a few people doing a lot more travelling, but go to like more gigs, go and see more of my favourite bands and discover some new things and just try new things. That would be my...
Nice.
Stop being a hermit and go out there and try something on that you've never tried on before, you know?
Like a dress.
Try the dress on, mate, yeah. I look alright, to be fair.
I would say be honest,
Okay.
be humble, be accepting, and be proud.
Nice.
I think. I went at 19, I was a knobhead.
You were
19 years old. I was a knobhead till I was about 32.
Oh,
yeah. And 37.
36.
Yeah. No, be honest, be humble.
Nice.
I think you don't realise how quick time moves when you're 18, 19. You think you're going to be 18, 19 forever.
Yeah, that's true.
And it goes very fast. Time.
Nice.
Very, very fast.
The biggest one, and it's a really hard pill to swallow because this is for absolutely everyone, is not everyone's going to like you. It doesn't matter what you do, not everyone will like you. Somebody will decide they don't like you and you can't change their mind. So just do the best you can do. and be confident and believe in yourself. When I was 19, I was in a band with Liam, and we wrote some okay songs, but you know, did we think we were the best thing in the world? No, we didn't play many gigs at all, if you think about it, because we never had that real confidence. Whereas, you know, in this band, we spent a year just working stuff out before we even thought about gigging. We weren't a band properly at all, because it was all just conversations over WhatsApp and ideas. So
we were rehearsing in lockdown. We was rehearsing in lockdown over Zoom. It's the worst thing you've ever heard in your life. But we had to do that.
Just believe in yourself and stop trying to make people like you. Just do what you do, and if people like it, fantastic. If they don't, then it doesn't affect you. It never will.
Nice. I think they're 3 for just generally teenagers and young people out there that they should take. Like, for all 3, I think if you're humble, then of course you'll go further. You try and make the most of it. Travel, see the world doesn't mean you don't know what's going to come. And of course, accepting you are who you are. So just get on with it. People don't like you, they don't like you. So I think all 3 of them kind of showing your work and show how you brought yourselves across today, that you're here to kind of give people what you enjoy to do. If they like it, basically, which comes across well. Just to finish up, I kind of told you about this just before we started recording, but just some quick fire ones. So you can go left to right, right to left. You might collectively choose an answer or individually. Best place you've performed at as a band?
I'd say Bob Goes Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
All agree?
Naylor Stop for me.
Naylor Stop.
That was a great festival.
Nice.
And looking forward to that next year. Already in the diary.
Wicked.
Spreadsheet.
It is.
Dream venue for you to perform at?
Madison Square Garden. I'm
Nice.
thinking big. Or like an O2 Academy if we're thinking closer to home, something like that. Or Rock City, something like that. But the dream for me is Madison Square Garden.
Nice.
Boardmasters for me. I want to be on the stage seeing all them crazy MFs surfing.
And then jumping in afterwards.
Yeah. I don't know.
Would you go on stage in that wetsuit that you've got?
I would do, yeah.
So you could surf straight
Look,
out. Come in from, surf in.
Pretty renowned for my insatiable fashion sense. I think so. A wetsuit would be more than accepted after some of
With
my
a parker
parkas.
over the top.
Yeah.
Best. I want to do a stadium. I don't want to sod about with theatres and that. Screw that. I want to do like Rock AM Ring or
Nice.
like Wembley or something where it's absolutely gargantuan, because you can't really do any better than that.
No, fair play. Then this moves on to festival or gigs. You do both. So which one? I know you've not done a festival yet, but would you rather? I'll have you.
Yeah, that festival.
So a festival or a gig, which one would you perform? Like preferred to perform at? Sorry.
I'm festivals.
Yeah, me too, festivals.
Festivals.
I've never been to a festival, so festivals.
Oh, there we go. Nice and quick. Artists you'd love to support on a tour?
Big artists or small artists?
Go big or go home, I guess.
The Hives.
Would you?
Yeah.
Ghost. Probably Liam Gallagher.
Liam
I'd
Gallagher.
love to support him.
Oh man, I think for where I am at and what I'm listening to at the moment, I'd probably go like Rolling Stones. I think I'd
Okay.
go for
Fair play.
something big.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the conversations on that?
Rolling Stones.
Can you imagine
and
the tour
Caves
or something?
at Madison Square Gardens.
There you go. Get him on the phone.
I can retire after
I was
that.
watching an interview the other day. Noel Gallagher was on holiday, and they obviously know that he knows Keith Richards' daughter. So there was, I think it was early in the career, and they was all in this hotel, and no, Maurice thinks not. Basically, Noel Gallagher went up to Keith Richards, and Keith Richards went, "Have you made up with your brother?" Went, "Yeah," and he went, "No," and he went, "Oh, he's a bit of a prick-any kind of thing," and like stumbled off. He was at the bar with having a rum at 8 o'clock in the morning with 3 belts on dressed as a pirate. I just think, how mad would that be on that? How mad would backstage be at that?
That'd be rock and roll.
That'd be event.
There you go. Last one to finish up, individually or together. You're in a bar, karaoke. What are we going for? You could do one collectively and then do a solo each. You can choose.
Oh, a solo for me. I'm going. That's Life.
Oh, yeah.
Sinatra.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What would I do on a karaoke machine? Probably Mary on a Cross by Ghost.
Nice.
Delilah, Tom Jones.
There you go.
I'd love
That's
that.
my
Nice.
karaoke song, there.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
There you go. So maybe some covers for you there.
I reckon collectively we should do American Boy and Kanye West and Estelle.
Could do some of the stuff from Greece. That'd go down well.
Greece, yeah, we
Yeah.
could do Greece.
Yeah.
It's not like a Lizzo or whatever.
Greece Lightning. We could do that. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Well, I was thinking you could be Estelle,
Yeah.
and you could be Kanye and I'll be West.
So just to finish up, where can people find you? So social media, anywhere like that?
Pretty much all of our social medias are under Cape Span UK. Cape's like the attire. And yeah, just any social media, Cape Span UK. We're quite active on Instagram, Facebook. We dabble in TikTok and all that sort of stuff. But
You got Twitter.
no, I've not done Twitter.
Yeah.
We can do Twitter, but I don't particularly understand it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, just Cape Span UK on absolutely everything.
Wicked. Right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you for
Nice one.
coming on.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks very much, mate.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Peaking into Success podcast. If you enjoyed, please make sure you follow us on Spotify as well as Instagram, where you can see all the updates of who is coming up, as well as who has already been on the podcast, as well as Twitter, where there is information and interaction from me on there as well. Thank you.